सर नमस्कार.
नमस्कार. डागा सर नमस्ते.
सर नमस्कार. मी मीनाक्षी
नमस्कार.
गव्हाणे बोलते.
हाँ, yes madam. Shall I have to share the slides or should I send it to you?
What sir? You have to share. What do you want to share, sir?
No. Can I share my slides on my computer or shall I have to send to Dr. Daga sir?
Daga sir will reply, sir. Daga sir?
Dhananjay sir, you can share this slide.
Okay.
You can take a trial actually.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes.
Am
Very
I
audible.
seen?
Yes.
Yeah. Good
Yes.
afternoon, ma'am.
Very good afternoon. Hmm.
Meenakshi madam, just tell me whom you want to be a host, actually co-host, so that they
2:30.
can mute or unmute themselves.
Sir, 2:30.
No, to whom I have to make co-host.
Sir, all six people's, sir. Women's Forum, PhD Central and State. Kulkarni ma'am, Padghan ma'am, Masotkar madam, Anushi Mundewade madam, Khose madam, and myself. Priya Chaudhary ma'am. आणि धनंजय कुलकर्णी
Shilpa
सर.
Patil, madam.
हा,
Shilpa
शिल्पा
Patil,
पाटील.
All,
madam.
all.
Is my screen seen, sir?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
your screen is visible, but sir, make it full screen.
Okay.
हमेशा से इसके साथ उनका लक्ष्मण बनकर काम करना चाहता था और उसी मुल्क में फॉरवर्ड ऑपरेशन की बात कर रहे हो तुम जिंदा
राजी, 1 मिनट, स्क्रीन जरा मिरर करना, इमेज स्क्रीन मिरर करना, इमेज कर दिया मैंने. सोनी पे क्लिक करा, करो. इसको हटा दो जरा, मिठू को वॉल्यूम करना.
होत नाही आता
हेलो हेलो मीनाक्षी मॅम
येतोय आवाज मॅडम.
आपण थोड्या वेळ थांबूयात ना, कारण तर 3:30
हो
वाजलेत आणि फक्त 20च पार्टिसिपेंट
हो
अजून जॉईन झालेले आहेत. तर एक
हो
5-10 मिनिटं थांबून मग सुरू करूयात का?
हो हो हो.
चालेल मॅम. शिल्पा मॅम, तुम्ही पण एक वेळ अनम्यूट करून तुमचा आवाज येतोय की नाही चेक करून घ्या
हा
ना.
हॅलो येतोय मॅडम
हा
हॅलो
मॅडम. हो येतोय
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 हा
येतोय व्यवस्थित
तर
येतोय.
मॅडम
थँक्यू.
हेच असंच म्हणू की माईक घेऊ
नाही मॅडम, असंच म्हणा, कारण तर भरपूर लाऊड आवाज आहे. उलट थोडा कमी केला
ओके
तरी
ओके
चालेल.
ओके
हा.
येतोय ना आवाज हा ठीक
हो
आहे
हो भरपूर येतोय.
ओके ओके चालेल
ओके मॅम. थँक्यू.
वेलकम रश्मि मैम.
हाँ, वेलकम ऑल. नमस्कार.
आवाज आवाज अनम्यूट करा मॅम. वेलकम मॅम.
वेलकम. थैंक यू मैम. थैंक यू.
Hello. Hello everyone.
हेलो.
Good afternoon. Nagesh.
गुड
हेलो
आफ्टरनून.
मैम.
गुड आफ्टरनून. कैसे हैं सब?
सब मजे
आवाज
में.
आवाज येतोय. गुड
म्यूट है कि नहीं है? हम्म.
सरांचा मोबाईल घेऊन एक 5 मिनिटं सरांच्या याच्यात टाकली. हा पाठवलाय व्हॉट्सअपला. याच्यात व्हॉट्सअप नाही.
मैम एक रिक्वेस्ट है मेरी कि अभी जैसे हरियाणा स्टेट में भी मैंने सभी ग्रुप्स में शेयर किया है इस लिंक को, तो शायद कहीं थोड़ी सी मराठी के लिए उन लोग को परेशानी होगी कि वो शायद पूरा ना समझ पाए. तो कोई बात नहीं, आप पैरेलली दूसरे लैंग्वेज में भी, हिंदी या इंग्लिश में आप साथ साथ जो है कन्वर्सेशन जारी रखेंगे ना, तो
नाही,
शायद.
इट्स इन इंग्लिश ओनली मॅम.
ओके. हाँ, मैंने कहा मराठी में तो नहीं होगा ना कोई.
नाही 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 नाही.
ओके, श्योर श्योर, देन इट्स ओके.
वेलकम सुहास जाधव सर, IPP MS महाराष्ट्र निमा.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Welcome sir. Suhas Jadhav
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you, madam.
Welcome sir. Ma'am, CMEs and webinars are usually in English only. That's no problem.
कहीं से कोई क्वेरी आई थी मेरा, तो मैंने कहा चलिए मैं एक बार, अभी तो स्टार्ट नहीं हुई इसमें मैं बता देती हूँ. लोग कर रहे हैं ज्वाइन, अभी तो पता लगेगा.
मासुदकर मॅडम वेलकम.
Welcome Masudkar madam.
येस येस. थँक्यू.
वेलकम डॉक्टर मसूदकर, कैसे हो आप?
बस लंच कर रही हूँ.
कीजिए एकदम बढ़िया से.
Calories count करना मत करना आज.
अभी दिवाली तक तो मेंटेन रखिए ना थोड़ा सा पिछला.
Rashmi madam is driving. Rashmi ma'am is in car, I think.
मैम बताइए क्या कह रहे हैं?
आप कार में हो? Are you
हाँ,
going
मैं
somewhere?
कार. हाँ, आई एम कमिंग बैक टू माय होम.
Okay. From OPD? From
हाँ.
clinic. Okay.
हाँ,
Yeah.
वो भी.
Treasurer
Actually,
always on the go.
डेफिनेटली.
Hmm.
आज का टॉपिक बहुत बढ़िया है, बहुत अच्छा है. अगर
Topic
मुझे
is very
नेटवर्क, बहुत बढ़िया है. अगर मुझे पूरा नेटवर्क ने सुनने दिया तो काफी वैल्यूएबल इनपुट्स जो है हमें मिलेंगे.
इट विल बी अवेलेबल ऑन यूट्यूब मॅम.
ओके मैम. ओके.
हाँ, वेलकम साधना मैम. साधना कुलकर्णी मैम, IPP सेंट्रल निमा वुमन्स फोरम एंड फाउंडर निमा वुमन्स फोरम.
big clap for Kulkarni ma'am.
येस. कुलकर्णी मैम is also traveling from Pune to Akola.
Oh, she is in travel only. Okay.
Yeah. Anushri ma'am is not joined it, no?
Anushri ma'am? No. No, I didn't see her name.
Dr. Pradnya Khose, madam, you are now host. You can make
Okay.
anyone host, and you
Okay. Okay.
can mute and unmute the other people also.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
नमस्कार डागा सर.
Daga sir left.
अच्छा.
Madam,
He has promised me he will be attending the meeting.
Okay. Okay. Daga sir, welcome and thank you.
नमस्कार
Thank you.
सर. नमस्कार डागा सर.
Yes, namaskar सभी को नमस्कार.
हमारे जाने पहचाने पुराने वेबिनार
Yes, correct.
ऑर्गेनाइजर.
Yes, yes. Our technical head, our digital head, our digital help.
आपकी जो पहचान है ना वो डॉक्टर के साथ साथ ये जरूर है. ऑल ओवर
Thank you,
इंडिया.
madam. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Am I audible, madam?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Good
evening.
afternoon, everybody. And I'm really pleased that Women's Forum Amaravati branch as well as Women's Forum Maharashtra branch is doing very good programs. And though it is the end of second year, the programs are going on in a full swing. I congratulate Mundewadi madam, Khose madam, and Saratkar madam, Mane madam, as well as office bearers of Women's Forum of Amaravati branch, Priya Chaudhary
Thank
madam,
you, sir.
Prema Chaudhary madam, and Sandhare madam for organizing such a beautiful event, very useful, and I am eager to listen to Dhananjay Kulkarni sir because I am his fan. He is a very knowledgeable but very humble person, and he is a key person in our Maharashtra legal forum. So my best wishes to you all, and please accept our best wishes from Maharashtra State Branch. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, from Team NIMA Women's Forum Amravati.
Welcome, madam.
I think we should start.
Okay, ma'am. Hello, everyone. There are a few requests before we start the session. I would request everyone to keep their mic and cameras off. Those who are unable to join through this link, they can join through YouTube link. And again, most important, let's use our chat box exclusively for our queries only. So thank you. I think there are 55, 56 participants. Ma'am, should we start the session?
Yes, we should start, ma'am.
Okay.
Girls will join till 3 p.m.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. I, Dr. Priya Chaudhary, President NIMA Women's Forum Amravati 2022-24, recently turned into IPP. Welcome you all in this beautiful afternoon to the webinar on Importance of POCSO Act, which stands for Protection of Children Against Sexual Offences. I appreciate all the participants who have made it a priority to join this important session in spite of Diwali being at the corner, which demands so many preparations, and also some of them who have joined sacrificing their afternoon nap. This webinar is organized by National Integrated Medical Association, Women's Forum, Maharashtra. Team NIMA Women's Forum Amravati is honored by the opportunity given and confidence shown in us by Team Maharashtra to conduct this program. First of all, let's worship our Lord Dhanvantari. For this, I call upon Executive Member, NIMA Women's Forum Amravati, and the Nightingale of Women's Forum Amravati, Dr. Shilpa Patil ma'am, for Dhanvantari Savan.
Thank you, ma'am. Namo Dhanvantari Devam Sura Suraivam Pada Paravana Luke Sham Dhata Vividha Shadhi Pama Shankha Chakram Janaka Gadaghatam Chahitu Chatu Sukshma Svacha Vidaya Shunti Parvila Chanit Katam Jvala Gati Tata Vina Pita Adum Vande Dhan Gadavali Da Gadavali Da Om Bhagavantagaye Om Dhamani
Thank you, ma'am. I think there was some network issue. The voice was breaking in between. Please check, ma'am. We feel overwhelmed to welcome our eminent speaker, Dr. Dhananjay Kulkarni sir, who has an upper hand on this topic. And in spite of his plate being full, he has spared his valuable time for us. We are delighted to welcome dignitaries from NIMA Central, President Dr. Ashutosh Kulkarni sir, Treasurer Dr. Shantilal Sharma sir, IPP Dr. Vinayak Temburnikar sir, our Women's Forum beloved mentor, Founder President of NIMA Women's Forum and IPP Central NIMA Women's Forum, Dr. Sadhana Kulkarni ma'am, who is also the first recipient of Anandi Bai Joshi Award. Congratulations, ma'am. We also welcome President NIMA Women's Forum Central, Dr. Vaishali Padgam ma'am, Secretary Dr. Mrunmay Masodkar ma'am, Treasurer Dr. Rashmi Sharma ma'am. We are honored to have you all here. Office bearers from Maharashtra State, Parent Body, President Dr. Tushar Suryavanshi sir, Secretary Dr. Mohan Ende sir, Treasurer Dr. Sopan Sarke sir, IPP Dr. Suhas Jadhav sir, Vice President Dr. Amita Kukre ma'am. We are obliged by your presence here. And let's also welcome our own leaders from Maharashtra Women's Forum State. President Dr. Anushree Mundewadi ma'am, Secretary Dr. Pradnya Khose ma'am, Treasurer Dr. Meenakshi Faradkar ma'am, IPP Dr. Swapna Jagdale ma'am. We also extend our hands to welcome CSPs of different branches of Maharashtra and all the participants of this webinar. We would like to welcome Dr. Girish Daga sir with a note of thanks who has provided us with this Zoom platform. A warm welcome to all on behalf of Team NIMA Women's Forum Amravati and Maharashtra State. Now, I again hand over the mic to Dr. Shilpa Patil ma'am for the introduction of today's speaker, Dr. Advocate Dhananjay Kulkarni sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Shilpa Patil, and it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today's event, Dr. Dhananjay Kulkarni sir. Dr. Kulkarni sir is a vice principal at Vasanta Dada Patil Ayurved Medical College in Sangli. He has a strong academic background, holding a bachelor's degree in Ayurvedic Medicine and Surgery (BAMS), and he is a university rank holder in both LLB from Dayanand Law College Solapur and LLM from Bharati Vidyapith Pune. He also completed a postgraduate diploma in medico-legal services from Symbiosis University Pune. As the coordinator of legal cell for the NIMA Central Council and a legal advisor for the Ayurved Teachers Association, he guides healthcare professionals on legal issues. Dr. Kulkarni has given many lectures on legal awareness for doctors and students. He is also a medical legal expert for law firms, making his knowledge very important for today's discussion. Today, we will discuss important topics related to the POSCO Act, why it matters for doctors, their responsibilities, and how to avoid legal troubles. Dr. Kulkarni will share valuable insights that can help us all. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Dhananjay Kulkarni, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We also welcome Dr. Anuradha, Secretary NIMA Women's Forum, Faridabad. So we have participants out of Maharashtra also. We welcome all of them. While we practice our pathing, we are many a time either confused or unaware of the responsibilities and duties we have towards our law, the freedom, rights, and restrictions applied by these different laws. Today, we are here to dwell in depth into one of many such acts. Today, we are dealing with POCSO Act, which stands for Prevention of Children Against Sexual Offences. What's better than to hear it directly from the epitome of knowledge? Before I hand over, there are some gentle reminders for the people who have joined late. I would again request to keep your phone cameras and mics off. Please drop your questions in chat box, which we will handle after the session. And let's use the chat box exclusively only for our queries. Now I request Dr. Advocate Kulkarni, sir, to please take over as we are eagerly waiting for his expertise session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Am I audible properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First, I would like to give some disclaimer. Whilst giving my introduction, ma'am said I'm a vice principal somewhere, but unfortunately, I'm not vice principal somewhere. Please correct that. I would like to be, but I'm not yet. Okay. So to start with, hopefully not everybody has lunch right now because post-lunch legal lectures are best sedatives in the world. So if everybody has had their lunch, then my job is most difficult to keep you awake and then enlighten you with whatever little knowledge I have. So to start with, I'll share my screen first. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, I welcome aboard all of you in the most thankless profession of the world. Why is it a thankless profession? Because whenever a patient gets treated by us and goes to home, he flexes his arm and sues us. He has a that much revenge attitude and has a 5 avenues to satisfy his revenge. First of all, he can go to a civil court or a consumer court or a human rights commission or a medical council, or he can file a criminal case against us. Regardless of the criminal case, all other are having a last avenue of compensation, and many of us are having our indemnity insurances. So the last resort of compensation is not much bothersome for us. But the criminal cases where the outcome is prosecution or going behind the bars is the main issue for us to practice. Whilst practicing, here is a main shield of Dr. Jacob Matthews guidelines given by Supreme Court that direct FIR cannot be lodged against us. A special or a committee of a civil gives a report regarding the criminal negligence and then a FIR is lodged. But there are certain enactments where there is no need of such expert committee report whilst lodging FIR against a doctor. And these dangerous enactments includes POXO. So to counter this encumbrances regarding our practice, we have to know and we have to understand what actually the laws is, what actually the provisions which are troublesome for us, and how to protect us from the troubles. So to start with, we will first start with the importance of POXO Act, and we will know what are the provisions which are useful to us, which are useful as a society to us, because we are in a neck of a scissor where on other hand there is a government and on one hand there is a society. So we are in a very awkward position to practice regarding the POXO Act. We'll know the act, we'll understand the provisions, and we'll know how to safeguard us from the difficulties which may occur whilst practicing medicine. So to start with, here is the content of the today's webinar. We'll have types of sexual offenses which are enacted in this act, the special codes which are enacted under this act, the punishment in the POXO, how to suspect a POXO case, role of a medical practitioner, medical aid and care, punishment for not giving treatment to victim, modes of information, punishment for failure to inform, punishment for false complaint, clinical examination of victim, and certain case studies, and then conclusion. So to start with, we'll introduce with the POXO. Why POXO? A child who is abused is more likely to abuse others as an adult, so that violence is passed down from one generation to another. And India is a hub as it is the largest number of sexually abused children. As per the studies, there are more than 40% children who are abused in their childhood. So to combat this situation, there were no special enactments available. IPC was there, but it was not regarding the minors, especially the minor boys. So for these situations, to combat these situations and to make the deterrent force to combat this heinous crime, a special enactment was made, and it is a POXO. This is a journey from no law to a special law, which highlights the grave act bring a special system in place, especially to address the increasing rise in number of sexual crimes in India against children. The number of increase from 1,41,764 in 2018 to almost 1.5 lakh in 19, but fell to 1.28531 in 2020. There has been a difference between the number of victims under POXO and the total number of cases registered as per the NCRB reports, because there is a lack of reporting. There is very less number of cases are reported regarding the POXO. So the number appears to be a low, but it actually apprehended to be very high in the society. And especially Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra registered the highest number of cases under POXO with 7,594 and 6,558 cases respectively. Almost decade has passed since the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act has introduced. However, we are still struggling to ensure its proper and effective implementation to impart justice to victims of child sexual abuse. So what is a POXO? It is an act to protect children from offenses of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and pornography, and provide for establishment of special courts for trials such as offenses and for matters connected therewith or incidental thereto to get speedy trials. Speedy trial is very important in natural justice. If the child becomes an adult and still it's going on, the matter is going on, then that is a very harmful because justice delayed is justice denied. So there are special courts, and these special courts are designed in such a way that the procedure is designed in such a way that they have compulsory provision to pass the verdict in 1 year of proceedings. So this is a special court provision. POXO is a gender neutral law. Whether there is a girl or boy who is a victim, or there is a male or female who is a repender or offender, then perpetrator or victim both are gender neutral. So the POXO is a gender neutral law. There was no such provision in IPC. The older provisions of IPC were only for the girls or women, and there was no such special provision for the boys, the minor boys who went under the sexual offenses. So the POXO is necessary for was necessary for that, and it is hence the such a law of gender neutral law was enacted as a POXO. So what are the sexual offenses against children which are enacted? First is the sexual assault, then sexual harassment, use of child for pornographic purposes, aggravated sexual assault, penetrative sexual assault, and aggravated penetrative sexual assault. What are these assaults? We'll discuss in mind. What is sexual assault? For an example, a 16-year-old Sarla uses the public bus to go to school. The bus is crowded at that time, and she rarely ever gets place to sit. One day, while she was standing in a crowded bus, a man behind her pushes himself against her. She tries to move away, but there is not much space for her to move. Then he puts his hand on her inappropriately. Sarla screams at him and pushes his hand away. The man says that he was done nothing wrong, rather held her only to keep from falling. This looks very simple, but this is a sexual assault, recognizable offense, and hence a man committed the offense of sexual assault under POXO 2012. What is penetrative sexual assault? This is more serious assault, and it is a more serious offense than sexual assault. Any body part, any object, or application of mouth, either in a vaginal orifice or in a anal orifice. It is a penetrative sexual assault. What is aggravated sexual assault and aggravated penetrative sexual assault? Where the offense of a sexual assault or penetrative sexual assault is committed by a certain person. Who is a certain person? Who are in a fiduciary or trustworthy relationship with the child. That may be, there is more serious offenses in certain circumstances. That may be by police, by public servant, by clinicians, hospitals, educational institutes, custody, remand, care centers, or most commonly the relatives. This is the aggravated sexual assault and aggravated penetrative sexual assault. This is more serious kind of assault. What is sexual harassment? When a person with sexual intent utters a word or makes any sound or gesture or displays or exposes any part of the body with an intention that the child would hear the sound or sees the part of the body is said to commit the offense of sexual harassment. Then 2018 amendment is there to use a child for pornographic purposes has been included in the POXO Act. Whoever uses a child in any form of media, including program or advertisement telecast by provision channels or internet or any other electronic form or printed form, whether or not such program or advertisement is intended to personal use for distribution for the purpose of sexual gratification, which includes representation of sexual organs of a child, use of child engaged in a real or simulated sexual acts with or without penetration, the incident or obscene representation of a child. By 2019 amendment, whoever stores or possesses, shares or transmits or uses for commercial purpose any pornographic material involving a child is also an offense and punishable under this act. Even if certain video is found in your mobile, or you have sent shared some video which contains pornographic material who is having a child in it, then you are committing an offense under this act. Then, as I said, there are special courts for trial. Special courts are established to effectively deal with cases under POXO Act. The POXO Act provides for the establishment of a special court under Chapter 7th. Section 28 of the Act provides that in every district, the state government shall, in consultation with the Chief Justice of High Court, establish a court of session as a special court to deal with offences related to the sexual harassment and pornography committed on a child. In every district, there is a special court established, especially for POXO, and many times a woman judge is appointed over there, and there are special courts for trial. The special court under Section 33 has a power to take cognizance on receiving complaint or on public report without the accused being committed to trial. This is also duty of a special court to make sure that the offense or the proceedings are made over within 1 year of the commencement of the proceedings. There is no disclosure of child identity in media, which shall include the child's school, relatives, family, or neighborhood. No such questions to be asked, which are aggressively attacking the child's character. Allows the child to take breaks during the trial. To ensure that friendly atmosphere is provided to the child, the accused shall not be present at the time of recording evidence of the child. The child's dignity and privacy are maintained. Now, we will be discussing the punishments which are engrafted under the POXO Act. Offences under POXO Act are considered sensitive and serious offences. Hence, punishment under this act are stringent in nature. The punitive action in these crimes follows deterrent theory of punishment. What is deterrent theory of punishment? It is the idea that threat of punishment will deter the people from committing crimes. The theory assumes that the people are rational agents who weigh the costs and benefits of their actions, and that they will avoid actions that lead to undesirable consequences. So the punishments are strong and stringent. So, penetrative sexual assault, there is a 10 years life imprisonment, 10 years or life imprisonment. Penetrative sexual assault on a child below 16 years of age, 20 years or life imprisonment. Aggravated penetrative sexual assault done by a person who is in trustworthy relationship with the child, 20 years or life imprisonment or death penalty also. Sexual assault 3 to 5 years, aggravated sexual assault 5 to 7 years, sexual harassment of the child up to 3 years, use of child for pornographic purposes 5 years or 7 years for subsequent offense, penetrative sexual assault by using child for pornographic purposes 10 years or life imprisonment. And then aggravated penetrative sexual assault for pornographic purposes 20 years or life imprisonment, sexual assault by using child for pornographic purposes 3 to 5 years, then aggravated sexual assault by using child for pornographic purposes 5 to 7 years. And most importantly, storage of pornographic material involving a child with an intention to share or transmit child pornography, rupees 5,000 for the first offense or 10,000 for the subsequent offense. Storage of pornographic material involving a child for transmitting or propagating or displaying or distributing is up to 3 years of imprisonment and a fine. Storage of pornographic material involving a child for commercial purpose, 3 to 5 years, 3 to 5 years imprisonment and or fine. Then this is most important for us, failure to report an offense that has been committed, that is up to 6 months imprisonment or fine or both. Failure of media, hotel, hospital, club, studio, or a photographic facility to report about pornographic or sexually exploitative object involving a child, up to 6 months imprisonment or fine or both. Failure to police to record information relating to the commission of offense or an apprehension that the offense is likely to be committed, up to 6 months imprisonment or fine or both. Failure to head or of a company or institution to report an offense allegedly committed by his or her subordinate. This also applies to us. If any of our subordinate or any of our staff is known about such an act, such a offense, and we fail to tell the police about that offense, then we are prosecuted under this act, and the offense, the imprisonment is up to 1 year, and or a fine is also applicable regarding such an offense. Then false complaint about specific offenses against an adult by an adult solely with the intention to humiliate, extort, or threaten or defame him, up to 6 months imprisonment or fine or both. False complaint about specific offenses again against an adult by a child, there is no punishment at all. So any child can make a fake allegation against any adult, but there is no punishment regarding that. false complaint against a child by adult, knowing it to be false, thereby victimizing such a child, up to 1 year imprisonment or fine or both. Making report or comments on any child victim through the use of any form of media, studio, or pornographic photographic facilities, 6 months to 1 year imprisonment or fine or both. These are the offenses and their imprisonments which are listed in the Act. So now onwards, we will discuss our important topic, that is role of medical practitioner regarding the POXO. So first role is, whenever a victim comes to you, the first and foremost role is medical aid and care. Then second important role is informing the police machinery. Then if required, take a consent, and then clinical examination, collecting evidence, and then testifying in the court. These roles we have to play, fourfold role is there. We have to play regarding the POXO case. So to go, we will discuss one by one. First of all, how to suspect a POXO case. A girl child may come, or adolescent patient may come with a pain in abdominal area or repeatedly occurring UTIs, pain in groin area, injuries on private area. There is altered behavior. Then there are age-related factors, history of a menstrual cycle, STDs, especially STDs, and repeated pain during defecation, generally in the minor boys. These are the all red flags which you have to take care of. You have to properly ask the patient regarding the offense, if he has been gone through any offensive act of any by any offender. You have to go through that. You have to ask that patient, and if you are coming in a conclusion, to a complete conclusion that the offense has been committed, then you have to report to the police regarding that. First is medical aid and care. Medical care should be rendered to the victim at earliest. Even before filing an FIR or informing the police, you have to give the medical aid. As per the section 357C of CRPC, all hospitals, public or private, whether run by the central government, state government or private, shall immediately provide the first aid or medical treatment free of cost to the victims of any offense covered under section 326A. All the sections are of sexual offenses in the Indian Penal Code. And more specifically, to speak about the POXO, Rule 6 of the POXO Rules 2020 directs every RMP about medical care of child, which includes treatment for injuries, treatment for STDs, HIV prophylaxis, emergency contraceptives in pubertal age child, mental health care, de-addiction services if required, and disability care if required. The POXO rule says that we have to treat the child regarding these ways. Otherwise, we can be proven guilty of negligence regarding the POXO rules. So what is the punishment for not giving treatment to victim? Whoever being in charge of the hospital, public or private, whether run by the central government, state government, local bodies or any other person, contravenes the provision of section 357C of the Code of Criminal Procedure, shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 1 year or fine or with both. So you just cannot send a patient to civil hospital, or you just cannot refer a patient somewhere else without giving a treatment to a patient if you are known that that is a victim of a POXO case. What are the modes of information? How do we report to the police, or how do we tell the police that certain offense has been committed on a patient or a victim? Then first and foremost is emergency number 1098 for child helpline, toll free nationwide helpline. Any child or concerned adult can call. By written letter to a police station, by taking acknowledgement. Acknowledgement is very important. There must be an acknowledgement. You must have a proof that you have told the police station, or you have informed the police well in time regarding the offense. By a phone call to police station with recording a call as a proof. By calling on 112 number with recording a call for a proof. Or most simplest way is by sending an email to local police authority. If you'll go to internet and ask Google about local police superintendent email ID or a police commissioner email ID, then there will be a display of that, and you can just copy paste that and send email ID to send an email to that local police authority regarding the offense, regarding the apprehended offense. Informing to police. Section 19, reporting to offences, notwithstanding anything contained in the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. Any person, including the child, who has apprehension that the offense under this act is likely to be committed or has knowledge that such an offense has been committed, he shall produce that information to the Special Juvenile Police Unit or the local police. Special Juvenile Police Unit has separate number. You can Google it and you will get it on Google. Every district has separate number and you can call them. They will come, they will collect the child and they will do the proceeding. Otherwise, you can go to the local police by the ways we have discussed in earlier slide. So what is punishment for failure to inform? Section 21 of the POCSO Act deals with the punishment for failing to report or record a case of sexual assault against a child. The person who fails to report or record a case can be punished with imprisonment up to 6 months or fine or both. If a person is in charge of a company or institution, they can be punished with imprisonment up to 1 year and a fine. So if you personally are failing to record a case or to report a case to police, then there is a much lesser punishment of 6 years, 6 months or fine. But if any of your subordinate or a staff of yours is acquainted with the fact that the child has suffered certain offense, and if you are keeping mum on that and you are not going to tell the police about that, then the punishment is more stringent, up to 1 year and fine. As the punishment under this section below 3 years, it makes offense under this section bailable as provision of CRPC. The Himachal Pradesh High Court endorsed this and ruled that failure to report a crime under section 21 is a bailable offense. This means that accused is entitled to bail as a matter of right. So this is most important thing, that if at all the case happens to you and police comes to file a case against you in section 21 of the POCSO, this offense is a bailable offense, then you will get a bail in an instance in a police station itself. So no need to worry about that. You will get a bail in that, because as a general principle, where there is a punishment less than or equal to 3 years, then the offense is a bailable offense. So this offense is a bailable offense. But unfortunately, what happens? The police want to incur some extra charges on us, because doctor is a easy what we say bait to get a money. So they usually impose section 34 with it, which is the common intention, and we become co-accused in the case. And for that, or they generally occur section 201, wiping out of evidence. Both the sections are non-bailable. So when such sections are incurred on us, we have to rush to a high court to get anticipatory bail, have to go to high court for 482 under 422 section 482 CRPC to quash the proceedings, or to go to lower court under section 320 CRPC to compound the offense if the offense is compoundable, of course. Then we have to take these resorts, which are more time consuming, money consuming, socially problematic, and mentally harassing. So usually, if there is only section 21 imposed on us, then in anybody, unfortunately, then there is no need to worry. It is a bailable offense. But if the other sections, which usually police does to extort money from us, then there is a much worrisome issue, and you have to consult a lawyer of yours to get tackle that situation. What is punishment for false complaint? See, this is what seizure is. If you will not complain the offense, apprehended offense, then you are going to be punished. And if you will report the offense and on another instance, the child and the parent says that there is no such thing happened, then this is a false complaint given by you, or that is a false information given by you, and that is also a punishable thing. So section 22 of the protection of child from sexual offense. How to combat that, we will see in afterwards. There are certain case laws which will safeguard us from that problem. So to know, section 22 of the protection of POCSO Act 2012 deals with the punishment for making false complaints or providing false information against a child. False complaint or information by an adult. An adult who makes a false complaint or provides false information against a child with the intent to humiliate, extort, threaten, or defame the child can be punished up to 6 months in prison, a fine, or both. See, if you will not report to police, 6 months imprisonment or a fine. If you will report to police and the child refuses that nothing has happened, the parent will refuse nothing has happened, then also there is 6 months in prison, fine, or both. This is very difficult situation. So false complaint or information by a child, child is never punishable under this act. So false complaint by a child who makes false complaint provides false information is not subject to punishment under this act. How to combat this situation and how to get rid of this riddle, or how to decipher this riddle, we'll see it afterwards. So if you are clinically examining the POXO victim, if you are a government officer or you want to examine the patient, then the consent is very utmost required. You are not obliged or you are not been made compulsory to for clinical examination. If you don't want to do clinical examination, or the patient don't want to do clinical examination under you, then you can just hand over the patient. You just hand over the patient to Juvenile Justice Board or any child care authority of the government or the police authorities, and then they will do the furthermore action regarding that. So firstly, doctors must take the comprehensive. What is comprehensive? Telling everything, informating, telling everything about everything, and voluntary written consent of the child after explaining information about the process of medical examination. Secondly, they should give enough time to understand the information and to clarify their doubts. Lastly, the child or his or her parents' guardian should agree voluntarily and without feeling any pressure for the examination. The case when child is young below 12 years of age or incapable to give consent, then the consent should be taken from the parents or guardian of a child or any other person whom child repose trust and confidence. This is about the consent if you are going to clinically examine the victim. Next, clinical examination of a victim, how it is done. The medical examination of a child in respect to whom any offense has been committed under this act shall, notwithstanding that a FIR or a complaint has not been registered for the offenses under this act, be conducted in accordance with the section 64A of the CRPC. In case the victim is a girl child, the medical examination shall be conducted only by a woman doctor. The medical examination shall be conducted in the presence of parent of the child or any other person in whom the child reposes trust or confidence, where in case the parent of the child or other person referred in subsection 3 cannot be present or for any reason. During the medical examination of the child, the medical examination shall be conducted in the presence of woman nominated by the head of the medical institution. And age determination and further investigation should be carried after. This is about the medical examination. So we will go through the case studies or case laws. These are decided laws which will put some light on clarity of the act and which will endorse some of the provisions. They are as follows. Mandatory reporting is central to the working of POXO Act, interpreting section 19 of the POXO Act, which is mandatory reporting. This is very famous case of Supreme Court, that state of Maharashtra versus Dr. Maruti. Supreme Court observed that non-reporting of cases will defeat the purpose of POXO. So any person who has apprehension that an offense under this act is likely to be committed or has knowledge that such an offense has been committed shall provide such information to the police. A report made in good faith confers immunity on the reporter from any civil or criminal liability. This sentence is our defense. If we will report to the police and then the child refrains or the parent refrains from giving any information to the police and say that nothing has happened, then we can we can give the citation of this case. And we have reported in a good faith, and we must provide certain concrete evidence that we have reasonable apprehension that offense has been committed on a child. Then there will not be any issue regarding the punishment in this typical POXO Act. So failure to report is an offense and it is of course punishable. So there are model guidelines under section 39 of the POXO. If hospitals, whether government or privately owned, or medical institutions where children are being treated, come to know that children admitted are subjected to sexual abuse, the same will immediately report it to the nearest Juvenile Justice Board or SJPU, and the Juvenile Justice Board or consultation with SJPU should take appropriate steps in accordance with the law, safeguarding the interest of the child. So these are the model guidelines, and you have to report to the police when you have reasonable apprehension with proper proof that certain offense has been committed on a child. So this is another case, Dr. T.B. Chandrasekhar versus State of Karnataka. The reporting case under POXO Act is not only mandatory, but reporting at earliest is mandatory. The case was the minor patient with PV bleeding was admitted to a senior gynecologist. She had a history of incomplete abortion due to abortion pill given by her 21-year-old boyfriend. But it was an incomplete abortion. So the victim being unstable, further examination was conducted, and it was noticed that the bleeding was also seen from outside, and therefore appropriate procedure was performed to retain the placenta, as further expulsion would have created danger to the life of the victim. After the victim became stable, which is after about 2 days of such admission, the victim was discharged. This was the case. As per the law, she was treated well before filing an FIR. Okay. But FIR was lodged months after the discharge, which diluted the evidence. So the doctor was held guilty for not informing the police in time. So if it is okay that you treat the patient first and do an FIR afterwards, but inform the police afterwards, but the time period in between should not be more than 24 hours. Because if it is a serious offense, then the evidences which need to be recorded they are getting diluted, and there is an apprehension that the offender or the perpetrator may fly away. So the FIR should be lodged in a reasonable time after there is a reasonable apprehension of offense and after treatment is over. Then Just Rights for Children Alliance versus S. Harish. This is just an endorsement of child pornography. The decision being closer to long-standing split among high courts on the question whether mere storage of a child pornography can be considered as offense under Section 15. So Justice Pardiwala spoke about the need of reject the terminology of child pornography and adopt its instead child sexual exploitative and abusive material, which he noted was more tandem with the reality of such crimes. He recommended the Parliament to amend the POCSO Act to substitute the terms. And these are the this is the case which I have highlighted in the green color are safeguards for us, are defenses for us. So to know the facts, a minor girl visited to Dr. Lata Krishna Reddy Mankali in the Karnataka for secondary amenorrhea, and her UPT was positive. The age her mother recorded on OPD paper was 18 completed, and the patient was willing for MTP. Subsequently, MTP was done uneventful and the patient was discharged. In coming months, patient lodged an FIR under POCSO Act against a person by whom she was pregnant. The doctor was also booked under Section 19 and 21 of POCSO Act for not informing the police. It was seen that the girl was minor, but the information they furnished about her age in hospital was false. Court observed that the expression used knowledge, which means that some information received by such a person gives him or her knowledge about the commission of the crime. There is no obligation on a person to investigate and gather knowledge. If at all, the petitioner was not careful enough to find the cause of pregnancy, as the victim is only 18 years of age at the time of delivery, but that would not be translated to a criminal liability. That means you need not dig into the facts and know that the person who is stating the age or the cause by which the pregnancy has occurred, you need not dig into the matter. But if you know eventually about the fact that the certain offense has occurred on a minor child, you have to report. So if you are not acquainted with the fact and the patient has told you the false story, then you have to be noting that on a paper or have a video recording of it, or you can have any kind of recording or any kind of proof that patient has given you a false information, and you will be acquitted from the charges. Next is Surjit Khanna versus State of Haryana. As per the complaint of a mother, a minor son of hers was being intimidated and teased by other boys as being gay. Due to this mental harassment, the son committed a suicide. Her aversion was she had already told this sexual harassment to the school, but no one took cognizance of it. She lodged an FIR against the school management and booked school management for not reporting sexual harassment of a minor. Courts have reiterated that the obligation to report offences against under Section 19 requires actual knowledge or a reasonable belief that offence has occurred. Mere suspicion is insufficient to establish liability for failure to report. That means there must be reasonable proof of being believed that there is offence committed. Mere suspicion is not enough. For an example, the case happened in Maharashtra only. The minor patient, 16 years old girl, came to a general practitioner, and she said that she has UTI, recurrent UTIs. And the doctor gave treatment to her regarding regular treatment of UTIs. And again, the next month she filed a case against a person who she was being offended, and police came to in the doors of the doctor and asked the doctor why you haven't been if you were knowing that the child was having issue. Then he told that I do not have any information that she had such a she has suffered such an offense. Then how would I tell the police, or how would I report to the police? Then the police told that the child has said that you know the facts. That child has told to the doctor that certain offense has been committed to me. Actually, that was a false statement. Child has not said, but the police said that. And the section 19 to section 21 was imposed on a doctor. Then we showed the video recording as a CCTV footage of the patient consultation, and doctor was discharged of that case due to that proof that there was no reasonable proof to believe that there was an offense committed. So the doctor was acquitted. This was the case. So what are the precautions to be taken by an RMP? So keenly observe the behavior of a child and parents or guardians for suspected complaints of a child. Keenly observe what the child is saying, how it is behaving, and if there is a suspicion, you just report to the police. Always have a CCTV camera with mic in OPD, because it is going to be a great proof. If nothing has been known to you by the patient, or has been given patient has given a false information verbally, then you have to know. Then you have to keep that proof, and you have to let others know, let the authorities know that I have not been properly feeded, I have not been acquainted with the facts, and so I am not a guilty of a section 21. Try to ascertain age of a child with suspected complaints. When a child comes and tells you the age, then try to ascertain the age by either by Aadhaar card or something. If you are doing an MTP or endorsing the patient, try to get an original copy of Aadhaar card. Take proper consent and follow procedure stipulated in Act to avoid secondary victimization allegations. Usually what happens, there is a secondary victimization allegations on police, on doctors while examining that the doctor has committed this and doctor committed that while examining me in a POXO case. So if you take a proper consent and follow stipulated procedure which has been derived, which has been encarved in a POXO to avoid secondary victimization allegations. If a child complains of recent offense and you don't want to clinically examine the child and make a MLC paper, then inform to police and hand over the child to child care authorities for further procedure at earliest. Because if you will you will spend time in between, then patient may fly off, the offender or a perpetrator may fly off, or the evidence may get diluted. So you will be held for such an offense. So at earliest, you have to hand over the child to the authorities. Document everything, because the documents are the only saviors in any medical legal case, because they are the primary evidences. Document is a primary evidence in any case, any medical negligence case. So document everything which you are suspect of, and it will be a great savior in any kind of case. So to conclude, the POXO Act 2012 it is an exhaustive legislation which aim at covering all the aspects of child sexual abuse. Amendment when made in it via the Protection of Child from Sexual Offense Amendment Act, with which the punishment for the offense has been made more stringent. The need of our to sensitize the public regarding child sexual abuse so that there is no reluctance in reporting these crimes. Moreover, the investigation agencies should be well trained, and professionals such as medical practitioners involved in this stage of investigation and trial should be efficient so as to leave any scope for negligence on their part. The POXO Act already makes the procedure child-friendly, and this approach should be followed by judicial officer, magistrate, police officers, and medical practitioners so that the child victim could repose trust in them. So for us, wherever necessary, RMP must report a suspected case to police at earliest. Suspicion must be on a concrete facts. Whistle blown in good faith is not an offense in eyes of law. If you are going to report a case, then nobody is going to blame you or report a case against you because you have done it in a good faith with a concrete fact. Not informing it to police in POXO is bailable offense. Hence, you need not worry, and bail is a right of an accused. Consent, recordings, and proper clinical documentation is utmost necessary. So this was all regarding the POXO. And thank you so much for NIMA Women's Forum Amravati for taking in hand such a great effort. And thank you so much for NIMA Maharashtra Women's Forum for giving me opportunity to speak in front of you. And thank you so much. If you have any queries about this act, then I'm free to answer.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for this informative session. Now we will head for question answer session. Those who want to ask any queries can put their questions in the chat box. We'll take it one by one. The first question I think I am going to ask you, sir. If the doctor doesn't know that such and such thing has happened, but the victim's parents or someone else reports the case and says that the doctor had examined that victim. So how the doctor is held punishable for this? Or
See, regarding the POXO, whatever the minor says, whether a boy or a girl, that is a Brahma Vakya. There is no cross for that. If the minor says that I have told Dr. Uncle or Dr. Madam that certain offense has been occurred to me on this and this day, this and this date, then it has to be accepted by the police and there is no cross for it. It is the section 21 incurs on a doctor for not informing the police. It is your duty to disprove the what child says in the cross, but you cannot just what we say wipe out the sayings or wipe out the evidence or say given by a child in regarding the POXO. Whatever child says is supposed to be the truth in POXO. This is the main issue.
okay, sir. So if the child is like too small to say this, in that case, does his parents are the ones
parents
who
or
will
guardians?
be okay, and can the OPD record be a proof that the child is not seen by the doctor?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
There's a question, sir. Reporting by the victim is very rare in the society. Okay. So on this ground, I wanted to ask, if a doctor reports the case, and wouldn't he or she will be threatened by the guardians or the parents if they are not willing to report?
That is not question of ours. We have reported the case. That is the question of the government machinery, police machinery, and the victims. We have nothing to do about that.
So
It
are
is
we
our
not
duty
at
to
threat?
report.
So are we not at threat? Like
Definitely we are
when
at threat. POXO is very difficult for that reason only. Because we are at stake from both the sides.
Yeah, there was a case where after a long time, the victim's mother reported the case saying that the father was the culprit, and she just told a doctor's name saying, I had taken this child to this doctor. The doctor did not have any idea regarding any such thing happened. But the police called the doctor and they tried to trap the doctor, saying you had the knowledge. You had the knowledge and you did not report. The main important thing was the doctor did not know that it was his duty to report the case to the police. Now, when the record was checked, there was, for that time period, there was no such, the name of that girl recorded in the OPD register. Still, the case was there on that document that he was enrolled in that case. But as you said, section 34 and 21, no one understands this, sir. So don't we get a copy of that allegation? Can we ask for it?
Definitely, we can ask for a copy of an FIR because section 21 is a bailable offense. So you cannot hold a police to against filing an FIR. Police has to file an FIR. If the child says that I have told doctor about the offense, police has to file an FIR. You must get the copy of that FIR. It is your right to get the copy of that FIR, and you will from police only.
So they denied to give the copy.
Then FIRs are done online today. You can get it from anywhere. You can apply to a court and you can get the FIR over there.
Okay, so that we'll come to know whether we are under section 21 or 34.
Yes, either section 20 or 21 or section 34 of IPC or nowadays section 3/5 of BNS. We'll know about that.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I don't see any other question till now. Anyone else who would like to ask any question?
See, this is most what we say a difficult or excruciating issue about the POCSO, that we are not acquainted with the facts. The case happened in our town only, that boy of 7 years came to a general practitioner and he told that the Bajuwala uncle spat on his face. And they wanted to lodge a case against him. But as the senior practitioner said that both of them, the offender and the victim, both were his patients from childhood. So he said that why to file a case? He just spat on your face and do nothing. Okay. He didn't know that he masturbated on his face and that was a semen on his face. So he could not distinguish that. Afterwards, it was revealed that that thing was happened. And the boy told police that I have told Dr. Uncle about that. So there was section 34 because the doctor told the patient not to do a case. That means there was a common intention. So section 34 were attracted over there. So we have to rush for a bail in a high court and we did everything for that. But this is the case. If they were having a video recording at that time with mic, so we could have told to the police that this is what the child said, that person spat on his face, and this is not an offense against POCSO in the comes in the POCSO in the purview of POCSO. And unfortunately, our people are very reluctant to get filed OPD papers or to point out each and everything on a case paper. We don't have any documentary records of any case. So these things happen. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. So, not having a knowledge of reporting the case to police, like the doctors who don't know that they should be reporting the case to the police, is that also negligence or offense? If you are not aware that under POCSO,
If the
we have
child
to
says that I
register,
have told the doctor, then it is an offense. Then it is your
but
duty to disprove it.
should a doctor just keep suspecting and if he feels so, he should report? Is that so?
Definitely, he has to report. He or she has to report. Simplest thing is to just email to a superintendent or a commissioner of police. Nobody sees that email, and you have a
Okay.
recorded proof of that.
Okay.
There is no problem in that.
Yeah. There's one question.
And email is a documentary proof, other than a voice
Yeah.
recording or anything. It's a very strong proof.
If the parents are not willing to file FIR or denied or tell doctor not to inform police, fear of society, what should doctors do?
Even if they don't want to do an FIR, even if they want to marry that girl child to that offender, that is not our concern. That is not our lookout. We have to inform. Wherever there is offense under POCSO, we have to inform. Whether or not they want to do an FIR or not, we don't know. We have to safeguard ourselves.
Okay. But the doctors who don't have that idea that they have to report, then what happens?
No knowledge of law is not a defense in law.
Okay.
There is one question.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, in chat box there is one question. What about child marriage? One medical officer has asked. Child marriage is also
any
that
person,
comes
whether
under
married or
POCSO.
not, if any minor, whether married or not, comes to you with a positive pregnancy, you have to report it to police under POCSO.
Okay.
But if not
Okay.
pregnant, then
Not pregnant is not your concern.
No, but if we know there is child marriage,
Then you have to
patient
report
comes
it.
to
That
us
is the offense.
with
Now, every offense, see, every offense you have to report. If you are at knowledge that any kind of offense has been made in the society, you have to report it. Not only to doctors, every person has to report it.
Hello, sir.
yes.
We are specifically talking about books only.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I am practicing in Gramin Kshetra, and I many cases in my OPD come with they are not married but are pregnant. But in that case, what should I do? I only give information about what to do and what to not, and then after what is my duty? Then if they are not willing to file a case against the victim, then what should I do?
That is not our duty, whether they want to file a case, whether they want to do an FIR or not. That is their personal issue. It is not our concern at all. If a minor patient comes to us with a positive pregnancy or with a reasonable apprehension that certain sexual offense has been committed on them, then we have to report it to police.
And what if that the parents or someone comes to know that the doctor has reported?
This is
Then
the
won't it be again a seizure?
this happens every time.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I have to speak. I want to speak about this. The same case happened in my OPD, and I consulted Dr. Dhananjay Kulkarni at that time, and he gave me such a good consultation, and I reported that case. Actually, that was willing, but showed that it was not willing. Then after some discussions in their parents and all, they had some middle path to marry the both kids and all. And it was actually it was I present myself the case in police station, and I was summoned to court too, but it was a happy ending after that.
This also this
That was a good
every time
part.
this happens in domestic violence also. हाँ, the woman comes to OPD with पति ने यहाँ मारा वहाँ मारा, उसके गाली देते हो आती है, और हम रिपोर्ट नहीं करते हैं. अगर हम रिपोर्ट भी करते हैं तो बाद में वो दोनों एक हो जाते हैं और हमको ही बोलते हैं कि क्यों रिपोर्ट किया. दिस एवरी टाइम हैपेंस, इवन इन डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस केसेस.
Is there any time period for reporting the case, not from by doctor's side, from the victim or
72 hours.
And if the case is reported after 6 months or so, then
Case can be reported after 6 months also, no problem. Even an adult can report a case when he has been being offended by someone when he was minor. In adulthood also he can report a case.
And still a doctor should be remembering every detail of that
No,
case?
we have a stipulated time frame to record our evidences. We have to retain our documents up to 3 years for OPD and 5 years for IPD. So we don't have to worry about that.
So
after that,
if
we
it
are
is
not
not
concerned about it. No.
Okay.
In any case.
Fine, sir. Okay.
Sir, child marriage comes under POXO?
No.
No.
Child marriage will come under POXO if it is been reported to the police.
So you are saying any case who comes with a positive UPT under 18 years of age has to be reported from our side?
Yes, definitely.
So? Every case?
Every
whoever
case.
it is?
Every case.
Whether it is married, unmarried, anyone?
Yes. Any minor.
Sir, nowadays they come with a changed Aadhaar card. They change the date on the Aadhaar card and come the patient
That is not
above
our
it.
concern. That is not our concern. We have seen. We need not dig out the proof. Whatever the patient has furnished, whatever the patient has furnished, we have to believe.
Okay. The patient was married and they changed the Aadhaar card because she conceived in 2 months.
and she was below 18. I know that she was below 18, but they changed the Aadhaar card.
We have no concern about that. If they are
Concern about
providing, if they are furnishing the proof, then we have no problem at all.
Okay, okay, thank you.
But
Sir,
yes, ma'am.
Sir, if we record a case, then it is a threat for us that they are, matlab, how can we manage that threat then? If the victim's parents are not willing to open the case in the society, it will be the threat for us then.
Hence I said, it is a two-way sword
Yes.
for us. That is why I said that. Just do an email, nobody reads that.
Okay. Email to
Superintendent or
Commissioner.
Commissioner of Police.
Superintendent of Police.
Or Commissioner of Police.
Okay.
This is an academic meeting, so I am giving my views. Otherwise,
Yes,
these people will sue me.
otherwise,
We do read our emails.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is the problem. That is the problem.
So, as you said, a patient came with recurrent UTI and she did not disclose that she was pregnant. If that happens, if a doctor doesn't know that she has missed their periods, because when we ask, what about your periods? They would say, no, it's normal. And if after that they file, is the doctor suspected as a culprit?
No, if a doctor comes to know that she has a secondary amenorrhea and there is a possibility of pregnancy, if doctor comes to know about that fact, then doctor has to report.
Okay.
He is not
But
acquainted
in
with the
case,
fact, then how would a doctor tell?
yeah, but in case after a long time, if they say, okay, I had been to this and this doctor and I had told her, then how would we deny? How would we defend
We have
at that time?
we have to get that with a proof, either proof or documentary proof of complaints or a CCTV recording.
But most of the time, we do not have a CCTV cameras inside the OPD, because if that is also there, if patients would take it otherwise, saying, why do you need a camera? You will be, yeah, that is again
They
a
have
threat
to
to
put a
privacy.
board outside a OPD that you are under CCTV surveillance. Then that is a implied consent that you are being recorded.
But don't patients object to that? Again,
You have to take a consent of that. Otherwise, take a
So again-
documentary evidence of that. Make a proper OPD paper.
so our OPD register is a big proof for that.
Yes, whether the
Whatever we
patient
have
visited to
written.
you or not, is a OPD register is proof of that.
Okay.
But about complaints, about treatment given, you have to make a OPD paper or either electronic records.
Okay.
So can I ask?
Yes. So
हाँ सर एक्चुअली कई बार केसेस में ये होता है कि पुलिस कई बार ये भी कह सकती है कि नहीं आपने विलिंगली ही नाम उनका नहीं लिखा इफ द रजिस्टर इज मैनुअल एज वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द ओपीडी रजिस्टर तो हम लोग नॉर्मली कईयों में हर किसी के पास इलेक्ट्रॉनिक नहीं है या सभी वी आर नॉट वेरी यूज्ड टू ऑफ दैट कंप्यूटर थिंग्स तो नॉर्मली कई लोग सिर्फ लिखते हैं नेम एज एड्रेस विद फोन नंबर डेफिनेटली वी आर राइटिंग बट वट कई बार पुलिस भी कई बार ऐसे कहती है कि नहीं आपने मैंने सुना कई पेशेंट से कि आपने जानबूझकर नाम नहीं लिखा या इसमें आपकी भी कुछ इंटेंशन हो सकती है
लेट देम प्रूव उनको साबित करने दीजिए
जी 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 क्योंकि नॉर्मली जैसे मैडम ने कहा ओपीडीज में कैमरास नहीं है बिकॉज एग्जामिनेशंस आल्सो गो क्योंकि रिसेप्शंस पर कैमरास होते हैं बट एग्जामिनेशन रूम्स में कहीं भी हम लोगों ने ओपीडी के साथ में आई थिंक काफी लोगों ने नहीं लगाया हुआ होगा तो व्हाट टू डू क्योंकि पेशेंट ने पहले भी कई बार ऐसा हुआ कि 18 एज
स्ट्रांग बनाना है फिर डॉक्यूमेंटेशन बहुत स्ट्रांग बनाना पड़ेगा
मतलब जब भी हमें 18 का एज का खास करके डाउट आता है देन वी आर सपोज टू टेक सम आधार कार्ड एंड एवरीथिंग फॉर आवर सेफ्टी और एक चीज मुझे यहाँ पे पूछनी थी सर जैसे हमने चलो मेल कर दिया लोकल पुलिस को इन्फॉर्म भी कर दिया लेकिन उसके बाद भी जैसे हमारा काम पूरा हो गया कि हमने उन्हें बता दिया है बाद में भी जो उनके ऊपर कोर्ट की प्रोसीडिंग्स या कोई भी पुलिस प्रोसीडिंग्स होती हैं, तो वो बाद में एक डॉक्टर को हरास कर सकते हैं क्या, कि या फिर बारी बारी बोलें? क्योंकि कोई भी डॉक्टर ये नहीं चाहता, अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी तो कर दो, लेकिन बाद में उनकी डेट्स लग रही हैं और हम लोग अपनी ओपीडीज छोड़ के वहां कोर्ट में जा रहे हैं, तो ये भी नहीं हो। ऐसा कुछ
नहीं,
है कि?
टेस्टिफाई करने को तो जाना पड़ेगा ना।
ओके
हम्म।
ओके, एक उसमें जाना तो ठीक है सर, थैंक यू। इट
ये
वाज
पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ प्रोफेशन है, उसको हम अवॉइड नहीं कर सकते।
जी 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 जी, थैंक यू सो
मेडिको
मच।
लीगल केसेस में टेस्टिफाई करने का हमको अधिकार दिया है गवर्नमेंट ने, ये एक राइट ही है हमारा ना।
राइट, ओके ओके, सो वी हैव
काफी
टू बी
स्टेट्स
वेरी
में नहीं है।
कॉशियस। राइट, ओके,
काफी
थैंक
स्टेट्स
यू सो
में
मच।
बीएमएस का मेडिको लीगल ओपिनियन अलाउड नहीं है।
हाँ जी,
हाँ, हमारे यहाँ दिया है तो हम यूज करेंगे।
राइट, ओके सर, so really an eye opener session. Thank you so much, and thank you all the organizers also. Thank you.
Yeah, one more thing, sir. When a patient or a person wants to report a case and wants to report regarding a document, like his name comes, do they need to have a OPD, like prescription with them to report a case for that? Like we need to have an OPD register maintained.
हाँ,
Do they
they
need
have
to
to,
have
हाँ,
a
they have to be with
prescription to
some
show,
fact. हाँ, yes, definitely they have to be with
or
some
just
proof that
orally if they name the doctor is taken under surveillance
yes,
only
yes,
on
both
oral?
the things are there. But the second thing, there are two parts. First is what child says. That is one part. If child says that she has to, or he or she has told the doctor about certain offense, then the FIR is lodged. But when it comes to the courts, they have to prove that they have showed the doctor, and doctor has to disprove that. Then the
Okay,
prescription and our other documentary proofs come in action.
okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
The main issue of POCSO is that only. हमारे सिटी में तो ये भी हुआ था कि एक ही लड़की ने 4 डॉक्टरों की तरफ बताया था, उसको वैन में बिठाकर घुमाया था शहर में, और उन्होंने उसने बोर्ड जिस जिस बोर्ड की तरफ उंगली दिखाई थी वो सब डॉक्टर पे केस हो गया था। इसको भी बताया था, उसको भी
Oh my
बताया था,
God.
उसको भी बताया था।
सर,
वाह,
कोई पेशेंट हमारे यहाँ आया है और हमें लगता है कि ये प्रेग्नेंट है, जो कि चाइल्ड है, लड़की है, और हमने उसको बोला कि भाई आप गायनाकोलॉजिस्ट के तरफ जाओ, सिर्फ, बाकी कुछ किया नहीं, तो भी ऑफेंस होगा?
डेफिनेटली ऑफेंस होगा, आपको रिपोर्ट करना पड़ेगा। अगर आपको लगता है कि वो माइनर है तो आपको रिपोर्ट करना पड़ेगा।
अच्छा,
आप कहीं रिफर करके, इवन सिविल हॉस्पिटल की रिफर करके, आपका जिम्मेदारी नहीं कम होता है पॉक्सो में।
Once we mail the letter, still we have to go to the local police station?
नो नीड,
No
in
need
any
then.
ways you have corresponded the police authority,
Okay.
that is sufficient.
So this is the safest way for not knowing
I'm not sure about that.
anyone.
I'm not sure that it is the safest way. It is most reasonable way, I would say.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I don't think there are more questions.
सर प्लीज मैम, सर का नंबर दीजिए।
Yeah. So
मैं
can
कमेंट
we
बॉक्स में डाल
share?
दूंगी, नहीं तो आप डाल दीजिए, कोई
Okay.
प्रॉब्लम नहीं। हाँ जी।
Okay, sir. Okay. Yeah. So thank you so much, sir. I hand over the proceedings to Dr. Meenakshi Saratkar, ma'am, Treasurer, NIMA Women's Forum, Maharashtra, for further ritual.
thank you, Priya ma'am, for this opportunity to express my gratitude towards all of you. I am Dr. Meenakshi Saratkar, Treasurer, NIMA Women's Forum, Maharashtra. I am taking this privilege on behalf of NIMA Women's Forum, Maharashtra. It is our privilege to express vote of thanks for today's eminent speaker, Dr. Advocate Dhananjay Kulkarni sir. We all know him as a coordinator of our legal cell. He has explained every aspect of today's sensitive topic in detail. His lecture was informative as well alerting. As he has said, this topic not only sensitive but with double-edged, and he has made us aware of its importance. Thank you, sir. Being a doctor and an advocate and a coordinator, he is really very, very busy. Sir, please accept our heartfelt thanks for enlightening us with your expertise. Thank you, sir. I want to acknowledge the blessings of President NIMA-CC, respected Dr. Ashutosh Kulkarni, sir. Even he has not joined this, but his blessings are always with us. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Treasurer Dr. Shantila Sharma, sir. I think he has not joined. Thank you, sir. He is always ready to guide us. And I'm pleased to appreciate IPP NIMA-CC, respected Dr. Temburnekar, sir. Sir, your blessing is always an inspiring, not only inspiration, but it's blessing to us. Thank you, sir. It's my prerogative to express a gratitude towards our founder IPP, respected Sadhna Kulkarni ma'am, the first recipient of Dr. Anandibai Joshi Award. In her acceptance speech, she has expressed her concern about growing incidences of sexual crimes against women. She has given us 7-pointed action plan to work on. She wanted us to make everyone aware about these heinous crimes and its legalities. Ma'am, please consider this project as a small step towards the plan given by you. Thank you so much, ma'am. I am very elated to thank you, our national president, respected Dr. Vaishali Padgan, ma'am, who is always cheerful, always encouraging, always ready to guide us. Thank you, ma'am. I'm very happy to thank our Central Secretary, Dr. Mrunmoy Masotkar, ma'am, who always explains pros and cons of every program, every project. आपकी शान में कौन सा लफ्ज पढ़ूं मैम? आप तो खुद ही एक शान हो. I appreciate the valuable presence of NIMA-CC Treasurer Dr. Shantila Sharma, Dr. Rashmi Sharma, dashing Treasurer Dr. Rashmi Sharma ma'am from Gurgaon. She has joined. Thank you, ma'am. I don't have enough words to thank President NIMA MSB, Dr. Tushar Suryavanshi sir, our young and dynamic Secretary, Dr. Mohan Ende sir, and Sopan Kharche sir, our always helping, guiding Treasurer. Thank you, PhD NIMA MSB. Your presence is always encouraging and helping. Thank you, NIMA Women's Forum President Anushri Mundewade ma'am. She has just told us one incident where Kulkarni sir has helped her, and she has gone through this painful and these incidents. Thank you, ma'am, for being instrumental for success of this project, as she has suggested, and she has given number of Kulkarni sir. She has suggested your name. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Secretary ma'am, Dr. Pragna Phose, always on the toe to guide and support in every situation. Thank you, IPP Swapna Jagdal ma'am. I think she had joined meanwhile. And now it's time to appreciate the efforts of NIMA Women's Forum Amravati, especially President Dr. Priya Chaudhary, as this is the very first project on NIMA Women's Forum platform, Maharashtra platform, which is conducted by a local or a district branch like Amravati. Dr. Priya was behind this project since 1 month. Once in a formal discussions, she told me about this project and she was going to conduct it for Amravati. So simultaneously, one thing clicked in our minds simultaneously, why for Amravati branch only and why not for Maharashtra? And then the strife began. The search of the expert, the availability of dates, the digital platform, many problems came. We had to change many things, dates, speakers because we wanted it to happen only on NIMA platform. And she was in constant contact with us. Me, our secretary, our president, her efforts culminated in today's successful webinar. Congratulations, ma'am. Thank you and congratulations, Amravati NIMA Women's Forum PhD, and especially Shilpa Patil, ma'am. She for very lucid introduction and very sweet Dhanvantari Stavan. Thank you, ma'am. Nightingale of Amravati. Yeah. And now the thanks for the most functional help, without which nothing was possible. Our technical head, our technical help, our digital help, Dr. Girish Daga sir, who provided us this Zoom platform. I appreciate his tolerance actually because I have called him n number of times and asked him many silly questions also. Thank you, sir, for your support, for your guidance, and for your tolerance also. And last but not the least, all the PhDs, office bearers, and all NIMA members, non-NIMA members who have joined this Zoom meeting, this webinar today, without which this success was not meaningful. You have made this meaningful. You have made this successful. Thank you, one and all. And please forgive me if I'm missing, if I'm forgetting to thank anyone. Thank you, one and all. And thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks to one and all. Thanks again.
Yeah. Thank you so
And
much,
now,
ma'am, for your inspiring words, motivating. You're always motivating, ma'am. Yeah. I think
working.
we should conclude this program here, if you permit so, if you say so. With
Yeah,
your
yeah.
permission, shall we?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Thank you, sir.
sir,
Thank you,
for your
Kulkarni sir.
valuable. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. And we will conclude this program here. Thank you.
We will announce sir's number, mobile number in
Yeah,
comments,
I
and
have
then
posted in the chat box.
okay, okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Smart president.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Forum Central webinar. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. We will leave the
Conflict.
meeting now. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you everyone for joining in.